Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're here today with my final piece of coverage for the Rainbow Six Siege Alpha. Now, obviously, I'm going to be playing the Alpha through the rest of the week, but I've now spent a lot of time with both maps. The house map that you saw in the first video, today you're going to be seeing some rounds from the plane map. So, I kind of have my final thoughts on what we played for the Alpha. Who knows if they'll add changes to it, but I really am just concerned about giving you guys my thoughts on the core mechanics that I've experienced, talk about some of the issues that I saw in the Alpha that I'm pretty sure they'll resolve, but I still want to bring up anyways. I feel it's important to bring up. If a dev watches this video, I hope that they recognize what I'm talking about, make it maybe possibly more of a priority. I also want to talk about some of my personal opinions, things that I just didn't like that I don't think need to exist in the game, things that I loved, and also the plane map. So let's go ahead and actually kick it off with the plane map, because it's one of the more complex maps available to us in the Alpha. As I said in the previous video, the house map it still has many layers of complexity, especially for both of these maps when you throw in the procedural destruction. It's a huge part of the Siege experience. It's obvious. They've made it appear that way in any sort of coverage that this game has had, and once you play Siege, you understand just how important it actually is, and how much they can be held accountable for those words regarding the importance of the procedural destruction in their game, because it is a huge part of the experience. It really genuinely is. And it makes any map that you're going to play in this game, it's going to make it 10 times more complex. You're not just dealing with the actual original layout of the map, you're now dealing with walls that can be blown out, ceilings and floors that can be blown out, alternative routes, and again, flanking opportunities that can be created using the destruction system. And this affects everyone, whether you're attacking or defending. It affects the decisions you're going to have to make, the tactics that you employ as a team, and just the overall way that you look at the actual maps. You're not just looking at them like there's a corridor, there's a door. You're saying there's a corridor, there's a door, there's a wall between those two things that can be blown out, and that is another entrance. That's how you're looking at this game, so it definitely adds a layer. So don't get me wrong, the house map is still complex. However, the nature and the layout of the original plane map is definitely much more detailed. Once you start to understand it, it instantly became an enjoyable map for me. As I said in the first video, I enjoyed the house map a lot more, and I believed that was because I didn't understand the plane map, and that would be correct, because now I find that I actually enjoy the plane map a little bit more. I really like its layout. I love the fact that you're in a plane. It's definitely a throwback to some of the old Rainbow missions. And I mean, come on, this is sort of just a classic badass SAS story. SAS, you know, saves a bunch of hostages in a plane that was captured by terrorists. It's just awesome. You feel like a badass, and I really do like the layout of the plane map. It leaves a lot of opportunity for exploration with those explosives. And also, it's a great map for shotguns. I found it to be a lot of fun. You'll see a really great moment actually in this clip here where I use the heartbeat sensor, identify some targets on the other side of the wall, and just go to town with this thing, just spraying through the wall. It's like the one time that it's okay to be shot through a wall in a game. It doesn't feel silly. It actually feels really awesome. So, there is one thing I wanted to talk about regarding the whole teamwork aspect of the game one more time, because as I've said, I know I'm stressing this again and people are probably irritated with me saying it, but it's just a simple fact. There is no way to actually play with a group of friends. You cannot create a party and then matchmake together. You're playing with randoms all the time. What that meant for me in my like 6 to 7 hours now with Siege is that I didn't have the opportunity to communicate with anyone. Seriously, there was not one person willing to talk in any of the games I played. I thought that was crazy. The only people who were talking were streamers, who were talking to their streaming crowds. They were not focused at all in playing the game. They were just more focused on saying, hey, so-and-so, welcome to the stream. So really did not get to experience the teamwork aspect of it. With that being said, I feel that what I experienced of the Rainbow Six Alpha Siege, or the Rainbow Six Siege Alpha, was 50% of the experience. What everyone was basically doing while playing the game was in their own little world. We were all learning the map layouts, we were understanding how the mechanics worked, the different pieces of equipment for the different classes worked. We were all in our own little training session, trying to figure out what the game was all about. But at no point were we really able to use any of those things, those pieces of knowledge, the knowledge of the tools and the equipment like the heartbeat monitor, to benefit one another because of that lack of communication. Therefore, I think it's very easy to say that I only experienced 50% of what Siege actually has to offer. The other 50% being situations that can be created, participated in because of teamwork. And that is something that has me really giddy about Siege, is that I'm loving what I'm playing of it right now. And this is with a group of randoms. This is with no talking, no prior planning. But the entire time I'm engaging in a lot of these situations, I'm thinking in my head what I'd be calling out to my team, suggestions I'd be making, plans that we would be putting together. Hey, you swing around there, put a breaching charge on the ceiling, you're going to drop in through the ceiling with a flashbang. At the same time, we're going to hit them from the side and just go in guns blazing. Situations like that, that's going to be the meat of the heart palpitation experience in Siege. That made no sense, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, that's where the adrenaline's going to be at. You're sitting, it's all quiet, you can hear your barricades being knocked down, you're sitting in that tiny room with that hostage, getting ready to defend, you've got your shields up, all of a sudden explosions going off, particle effects, pieces of wood shooting through one wall, teams rushing in, you're trying to see what's going on, they're flanking you, flashbangs. It's gonna be bonkers. It's gonna be mental. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait to go up against a proper team with my team. This is just going to be a completely different ball game. I'm really genuinely looking forward to that. Like I said, that being said, if you do receive a key for the alpha, don't be turned away by that. This is something you still most definitely want to experience. You want to get a feel for that core game. If anything, it's helping us get a heads up. We're going to understand how the game functions. We're going to know the core rule set of this 5v5 hostage mode. And when the game goes into beta or, full release and we can finally make parties, we'll have a little bit of a heads up on the other guys out there. But that's something I'm really looking forward to experiencing. Now, mostly positives, what I've talked about in the first video and in this video. Like I said, lots of things that I really love. Love the procedural destruction. It's a huge part of the experience. It gets your heart pounding every time. There is nothing quite as satisfying as putting a charge on a wall or on a door or on a barricade, blowing it to bits, flashbang, run in, boom, just start lighting everything up. It's a great experience, and doing that with an actual team is going to be, it's just going to be 10 times more fun. I'm really looking forward to it. However, on the concern side of things, there are really just two smaller things that I wanted to address. The first one being the melee system that the game employs. I don't see the point in it. There's actually 3 in total, I'm sorry. The melee system just doesn't need to exist. Basically, everyone has a knife, you can click in a stick, Call of Duty style, and just start swinging this thing to the air. It's silly, it's ridiculous. I don't understand its point. It's, there's no purpose for it in the game. Obviously, okay, you could say, well, it's so you can melee people. No. It creates a lot of irritating situations is what it does. When there is particular situations where you're going to have a rough connection, you're going to have a lot of frustrating moments. This always occurs in these type of games where someone knifes someone through bullets. We just don't need a melee system like that. If you want to incorporate a melee system, why not go with a stealth system? You come up behind an opponent, and that rare occasion that I see this happening in this game, and you can do some sort of a stealth kill with the knife. It should be an animation, in my opinion, that requires a bit of time. It exposes you as someone who is assassinating an enemy target. That is something I would like to see more. But this whole run into a room swinging the knife thing and get a kill, it's silly. It does not enhance the game play experience. It doesn't. It's just please, take it out. I don't see a point in it. This isn't Call of Duty. Simple as that. It's not often that I say things like that, but this isn't Call of Duty. There's no reason for that to be in the game. Who knows? Maybe people love it. Like I said, I don't think it needs to exist. Now, the other thing that I have an issue with is the kill cam. I don't care for kill cams. I understand in Call of Duty, maybe people want to see where they were killed from, but to me, they're silly. Just take them out. What they really do, what a kill cam actually does in almost 99% of cases, is it causes higher levels of frustration for the person watching the kill cam, because kill cams are usually not properly aligned with what actually happened in the situation. They're affected by networking. They just never properly portray what happened in that situation. And instead what you get is someone who dies, who watches the kill cam and says, how the hell did that guy shoot me through the wall? When obviously he didn't shoot the person through the wall. So to me, it's just remove the system. If you want to have some sort of a final kill cam, just so people can see the final kill of the match, go ahead. But it feels silly. Again, I don't see the purpose for it. Remove it from the game. It's just going to be a nightmare for everyone. I don't want it. Maybe other people do, but my humble opinion, take it out while you can. Don't let that stay in the game. No reason for it. Now lastly, we should address some small concerns regarding netcode, hit detection, and overall network quality. Obviously this is alpha. As I said in the first video, this is probably the first time they've had this scale of connection types, connection qualities, connecting to their game and playing together. Maybe they've done some in-house testing, but it's much different when you don't know the connection quality. You have all these people connecting from these different locations on such an early build. I know there's going to be issues, but I think that it needs to be stressed that this is something that needs to be cleaned up before the game launches. And I'm saying it because it's not like we haven't had games launch with bad netcode and bad hit detection. Gears of War was notorious for that. The game's multiplayer, which was initially just an afterthought, then turned into something big, and they still didn't really fix it. Gears 2 suffered from it heavily, and Gears 3 even saw issues. Dedicated servers wasn't even enough to resolve a lot of the problems. I think that's something that Ubisoft should look into, running dedicated on this. I personally don't know how that all works and why it seems like devs and pubs don't like to make dedicated servers a thing, but pay for the dedicated servers, put them in your game, and make it happen. Now obviously, alpha, things are subject to change. I am genuinely hoping to see a big improvement the next time I get my hands on Siege with the overall hit detection and the quality, because it is a bit frustrating now. It's definitely wonky. There's some issues here and there, but hey, here's to the future of Siege. Looking forward to playing it once again. I'm still going to be playing it throughout the week. Maybe I'll throw up a few words here and there if they make any changes to the current build of the game, but that's pretty much my final thoughts on it. I am genuinely excited, more excited than I thought I was going to be, and I still recommend the alpha to anyone who ends up getting a key. Give it a go. Even though you can't play with friends, it's still worth checking out for yourself. If you guys have anything you'd like to say about the video, anything you'd like to say about your time with Siege if you've been playing it, or any questions, as always, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.